again. So, today in my live video, I wanted to talk about why people who actually know and they've realized that, rent to rent is a good strategy, they understand it. But the problem with them is that, they don't make a start. And it could be, any reason. There could be various reasons. And because I've been through it myself, so I know, there could be many reasons. So I just thought I'm going to talk about those reasons and give you possible solutions, because I can kind of connect with it and I know exactly, how people feel and what could be the reasons behind it. So number one, I find that when people are, they love the idea of having this cash flow, they love the idea of having low investment strategy and, growing their property portfolio. But number one reason could be that they're simply procrastinating. They are thinking about it and they have been sitting on the fence, but it's just they are struggling to find time, or maybe they don't have their priorities right. So maybe they are thinking, okay, I will do it tomorrow, I'll do it later, and that tomorrow and that later never comes. So I would say the best thing would be for you, first of all, you need to write down your goals and make a job list for yourself and write down a very strong why as to why you really want to do it. I mean, is it that you need extra money, or is it that you want to do it for your family, or is it that you hate your job, or you are in a wrong job and you want to have a change of career? So it could be that. So write down why you want to do it, and I think that helps. And then if you make like a night before, if you make your job list and you decide that the following day, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for properties, this is how much time I'm going to spend first thing in the morning before I go to work, or if it's a weekend, then I'm just first thing in the morning, this is how much time I'm going to spend doing my research on the market and trying to contact people and emailing and doing all sorts of things. When you are starting, you need to set up your company, you need to do many things. So best thing would be to make your job list and then start taking actions. I mean, it could be that you don't have to have really massive list. Maybe start with just doing, even if it means that doing just 3 tasks a day, or even couple of tasks a day, that would make a massive difference. So I would say stop procrastinating. And also what you can do, you can hold someone else, you can share this with someone in your family, or a very good friend of yours, who you think is your well-wisher and really would help you to come out of that procrastination. So maybe you can tell them. Or what I found really helpful with me, that if I tell my son, or if you tell your teenage kids or young kids, and hold them responsible and tell them to remind you to do that task. And I think they are the best people, because I remember when I wanted to start, my biggest problem was I wanted to get over the fear of this social media. So I mean, I remember during the lockdown, this is what I set myself a goal, that I wanted to do that. So I had recorded my video, but then I told my son, I said, I've got the video, but I just don't have the courage to upload that video. So because I held him accountable, I just didn't have the courage to press, upload on the Facebook. And because I held him responsible, he pressed the button for me. And sometimes you just need that little push, So tell someone if that's what is your problem. If, you are procrastinating, if you are really not able to, execute things. So it could be your children, they love this role reversal. If you give them that responsibility that they need to take charge of you, they absolutely love it. And I think that worked really well with me. So make your own children, your teenage kids, or young children, make them responsible. Tell them this is what you're going to do the following day. And they will help you with that. Or even if you have a good friend or a partner, tell them this is what you're going to do, and ask them to ask you whether you've done it or not. So you know that you have to answer to someone, and that will help you. So if you're procrastinating, that's a great solution to it. Second reason why people don't start is that because sometimes they have a fear. Now it could be the fear of failing, which is very, very normal. We all have that fear, you know. We don't want people to laugh at us because we haven't been successful in what we are doing, or something that we want to do and other people don't believe in that. So, you know, we feel that if we tell everybody and if we don't make a success out of it, you know, it just makes us look silly. So that could be the reason. Or sometimes we have a fear of losing money, you know. So it's a very, very common thing, you know. And I mean, if you are feeling like that and that is the reason what's stopping you from getting into rent to rent, then maybe what you can do, you can start this journey with a joint venture partner. You can find someone, if you've been on a course, or if you know someone who also is, you know, looking to start their journey also in properties, and who also is you know, quite passionate about this whole idea of, you know, making extra money on the side, or is also looking to replace their current job or current income, then maybe you can you know, work together, because then you are kind of sharing your fear with them, and you know, you will get a lot of motivation from each other. You can motivate each other. So that can be a very good way, you know. Another I would say it's a good way to start, because this is how I started my rent to rent journey. I started in a JV, in a joint venture, you know, with someone. So you can do that. That's a very good solution, because then even if you, I mean, I hope you don't lose money, but even if you're losing money, you know that, you know, there is someone else who's sharing that loss with you. And you know that if you are going to make a success out of it, you know that there is somebody who will be celebrating it with you, you know. So somebody else will have their interest invested in the same goal, in the same mission with you. So this is a very, very good way, and this is how I started, because I was fearful as well. I had all the knowledge and everything. I had been on a course, but you know, because I didn't have someone who could handhold me, so you know, I really was looking for that extra support, and that really helped me to start. That gave me that courage. So if you have a fear, start with someone, but do make a start, you know. Don't hold back, because if you keep on looking for the perfect moment, that's never going to happen. Because initially my problem was, it wasn't just the fear, the properties I was going to see. I had this vision in my head, oh, I want perfect looking property, you know, and I couldn't find, you know, that's the reality. I could never find a perfect looking property. And realistically, if you think about it, if people have perfect looking property, if a landlord has perfect looking property, why would he give it to a person like me who wants to do rent to rent on it, you know, in that property? So then I had to come to terms that I have to stop looking for perfection, and I just need to make a start. So property that my very, very first rent to rent property I took, it was completely run down. It took me about a month to do it up, but then I had this you know, I had this satisfaction, you know, that I had somebody else who was with me watching, you know, and helping, you know, the psychological, I was feeling secured. So having a JV partner is a great boost, you know, if this is what, if maybe that's what you need, you know, to make a start. Or third reason could be that you have lack of funds, you know, you love the idea, you have the knowledge, and you are not procrastinating, and you know, you are a very hardworking person, but the problem is that you don't have enough funds, you know. So that could be the reason as well. You're really dying to make a start, but you just don't have enough money. Although it is a low investment strategy, but realistically looking, I mean, I know that, and you know, I'm sure people who have studied this strategy properly, they kind of know that there is no such thing as no money down strategy. If somebody is trying to sell this way to you and saying, oh, it's a no money down strategy, I would say be wary, you know, because this type of thing doesn't exist, you know. So if this is what your problem problem is, again, you can ask, maybe you can borrow money from someone, you know, in your family, in your friend circle, or again, you can have a joint venture partner, you know, who can put half the money with you, you know, so that in that way, you don't really need as much cash to make a start, you know, if that's what is stopping you. So you can use your knowledge, or sometime if you will find that, you know, there are people who are happy to invest money with you, but they don't really have time. So in that case, maybe you can use all your knowledge that you have learned by doing a course, and that other person can, you know, lend their money to you, and then you can make a start, and you can then maybe have 50-50 partnership or whatever is fair between both of you. And, you know, if you share same values, if you have same goals, and, you know, you can trust each other, then yeah, again, joint venture, you know, that's a great way of, you know, starting. So that's the third problem that I see, you know, people don't start because they have lack of funds. So again, joint venture is a good way. Now, fourth reason is people love the idea of, you know, I love the idea of having this rent-to-rent business, you know, scaling it and having this amazing, you know, cash flow for their business, but they don't really know how to make a start, you know. So that could be their problem. They don't know how to find the properties. They don't know where to find the properties. They don't know which is the right area. Or sometimes they have read few books, but they really want that person who can handhold them. Yeah. So in that case, what you really need is a person who can maybe teach you. So maybe what you really need in that case, get someone to mentor you. If you want someone, you know, but you need to make sure that you connect with that person. That person has to be approachable, and look at your own situation, your own budget as well. So when you are thinking of, you know, having that knowledge from someone, just look at your own personal, you know, your own circumstances. Maybe you're already in a job, or, you know, you need a certain type of support, because everybody has got this image. They want that certain type of person who they feel that, okay, this type of person will help me or support me, and they feel connected to that person. So, you know, like in my case, when I wanted to start my journey, I had my full-time job, and because I had my full-time job, ideally I was really looking for someone who could help me in the evenings or weekends, you know, or handhold me. So maybe if you are that type of a person, so maybe you can look for that type of support or that type of help, where somebody can actually handhold you, or, you know, can actually be your shadow, or can tell you how it is done, or maybe learn from someone who, you know, has walked the walk. And if that person has walked the walk, they will stop you from doing those expensive mistakes, you know, costly mistakes. So that's another way. If you feel that your reason why you're not able to make a start is that you don't have right knowledge, so rather than starting it without any knowledge, you know, make sure that you have right person beside you. Make sure that you have a person who is able to handhold you, and that is a person, maybe you feel that person is approachable. So make sure you do your due diligence on that person as well, you know. Have a good chat with that person and see how you feel about that person, and make sure that you connect with that person. With some people, it could be that, you know, they're already in this property game, and they want to also try, you know, this rent-to-rent business model as well. So all they just need to read a book, or they just need little bit of information, you know. Whereas some people like myself, when I started from zero knowledge, you know. So I really needed someone who could handhold me and who could tell me exactly how I need to and where I need to look, and how I need to start, how much money I need to have to make a start. So if you are looking for that type of person, then make sure you get that type of a person who can really handhold you, who can support you. So you can make a start. So whatever your reason is, whether it's procrastination, whether it is a fear of failing, failure, or whether it's lack of fund, or whether it's lack of knowledge. I mean, if you are looking for solution is everywhere. I mean, I've given you a few solutions now. So look for solution, take action. Don't wait for perfect moment, because that will never come. I think it just happens in illusion. In reality, there is no such thing as perfect moment. The moment you will start will become perfect for you. You need to make perfect moment for yourself. So make a start, because if you start it right way, it is actually a lucrative strategy, and it can actually make you money. So it's a sustainable business. I mean, this is how I started. This is how I got into property business, from knowing nothing about this whole property thing, because I had nobody in my family who had done anything to do with property. I was the very first person, and so I couldn't really ask for any help. But once I've started it, now I have started buying my properties as well. I've started doing my own developments as well, and also I've done 3 lease option deals as well. So one thing leads to the other. So don't think that just because you have a zero knowledge you can't do it. Of course you can do it. Trust yourself and find someone, or if it is lack of funding, then find someone who can help you with your funding. But do make a start, and don't just wait around. Okay, and thank you for watching. Okay, I'll speak to you in my next live video. Okay, take care then. Bye bye. So that's how I lost my live connection.